Tonight, from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going at the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Tua now on first down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big play there for Miami. Pretty good play by both the thrower and the catcher there, Charles. 3rd down, showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And what I liked about the play was his receivers understanding that everything wasn't on time back in the pocket. Rhythm was off a little bit. He adjusted as well and gave them a chance to complete that play.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The rushing numbers for Gaskin last week. 12 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Gaskin again on 2nd down. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Open man is Waddle, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was capped off by a Myles Gaskin touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22. Here come the Browns on offense with Baker Mayfield, the former #1 overall pick at quarterback.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. There's the former Dolphin, Jarvis Landry. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
First down, Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time, but it'll be 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield on play action. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Isaiah Simmons leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it?
Under pressure, they got him again. Christian Wilkins has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles, 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. It's a big play there for Miami. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll run now with Gaskin. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. 5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple of things working against them, and number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. And that's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. Following the penalty, Chubb. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield looks to throw. He completes it to Hunt. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Hunt. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the one.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the one. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Browns are back within a score. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. Tua now on first down. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there for Miami.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Tua sets up to pass it. Looking for Ruggs again, and he's got him again. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Williams. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Williams again. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. Two division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A give. This is Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as the tackle made here at the 36.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it. Past the 50. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. Bust through the tackle. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 46 yards on the ground for him so far.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Chubb will get the call running left and shedding through the and I think the ball's out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 42-yard line. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, his 2nd sack of the night. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Nash. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
Here's Gaskin. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, That's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On second down, it's Williams. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now Tua. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. Evidence to the contrary in their last possession, though.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Mayfield on first down. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Chewo Olalua, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. A 1st down throw for Mayfield. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Christian Wilkins in there to get him, and with it, time will expire here in this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was the Ravens who get the win at home. Lamar Jackson leading.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback. As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. The Browns drive about to get started. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield will get this one underneath to Hunt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw into the hands of Hooper. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Mayfield's throw taken in by Landry. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing.
And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. The question was
after review the play, the one on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 74 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here. And a seal here, and we run.
And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack. Emmanuel Ogbah, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A run for Nick Chubb. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. To throw, Mayfield. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Isaiah Simmons in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? Well, let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
That is
by the time we have to leave the booth. This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
4 down, 4 down. Alert 3, alert 3.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And the linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Kill.
Out of the pistol. Here's Williams. Oh, good move. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right. 4 down.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Second and goal from the 1.
Watch the slam. Slam.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Mike, 55. Check.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Mayfield. Looking deep downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicked.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the deep.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Raekwon Davis in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield now from the 50. And this one is incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, They want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Mike 28. Mike 28. Hey.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The defense stiffens to force.
I double teamed him too. Unbelievable.
Down following that 1st down gain of 8. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Tua on 4th down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't. Convert on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Christian Wilkins racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To try again after the sack. Mayfield. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14, and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. Hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Tua going to throw. This is taking him one-handed. What a catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
This is Gaskin on the carry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 94 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Hey, we got four now.
They'll run now with Gaskin, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd down, Williams. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Dolphins, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.